Imagine that millions of Americans are about to receive unexpected money before the end of this year. You might be one of them. As families prepare for the holidays, the Social Security Administration has finalized a significant change that could put hundreds of extra dollars into bank accounts within weeks. Government decisions will directly impact your finances, and understanding what is coming could mean the difference between struggling through January and starting the new year with financial breathing room. The Social Security Administration has confirmed significant changes rolling out before the end of the year. These changes include benefit increases that many recipients might not realize they are entitled to receive. These are cost of living adjustments calculated based on inflation rates that more accurately reflect what Americans experience at the grocery store, the gas pump, and in monthly bills. For years, many seniors felt that government inflation calculations did not match reality, with Social Security increases failing to cover actual living expenses. This year, however, something different has occurred. After crunching the numbers and applying formulas, the result is a benefit increase more substantial than many adjustments seen in the past decade. Who qualifies for these changes? Pay close attention because eligibility requirements are broader than many realize. If you currently receive Social Security retirement benefits, you qualify. That encompasses approximately 50 million Americans. If you receive Social Security disability insurance, you qualify. If you receive supplemental security income, you qualify. If you are a surviving spouse or dependent receiving survivor benefits, you qualify. The Social Security Administration is applying this cost of living adjustment across the board to virtually everyone who receives benefits through their programs. This means whether you retired last year or 20 years ago, whether you are 75 or 95, whether you receive $800 a month or $3,000 a month, you will see an increase in your benefit amount. For someone receiving the average Social Security retirement benefit of approximately $1,920 per month, this adjustment translates to an additional $48 every single month. That is nearly $50 that was not there before. Over the course of a year, that is $576 in additional income. For couples who both receive benefits, you are looking at close to $1,000 in extra annual income. For someone receiving the maximum Social Security benefit of around $4,700 per month, this adjustment means an extra $117 each month, which adds up to over $1,400 per year. The way Social Security calculates when these increases take effect means that millions of Americans will see their increased benefits reflected in payments arriving in late December and early January. The timing could not be more critical, as this is when people deal with holiday expenses, winter heating costs, and post-holiday financial strain. The Social Security Administration has structured the payment schedule so that recipients notice this increase when they need it most. For those who receive benefits on the 3rd of the month, increased payments will arrive on January 3rd. For those who receive benefits based on birth dates, which fall on various Wednesdays throughout the month, increases will begin appearing in January payments as well. The government has also made another crucial update, directly affecting millions of people, particularly important for those living on tight budgets. Medicare Part B premiums, typically deducted directly from Social Security benefits, are not increasing as dramatically as in some previous years. This is critical because in the past, Social Security benefits increased, but Medicare premiums increased even more, effectively leaving seniors with less money. This year, the Medicare Part B standard premium is increasing by only about $14 per month. Compared to the benefit increase from the cost of living adjustment, most recipients will still see a net increase in their actual take-home benefit amount. This means real additional money in your pocket, not just on paper, but in actual spending power. The Social Security Administration has updated the earnings limit for people receiving benefits but still working. This particularly affects individuals who have not yet reached full retirement age but are collecting early retirement benefits while continuing to earn income from employment. If you are under full retirement age for the entire year, you can earn up to $23,400 before your Social Security benefits are reduced. This is an increase of over $800 from the previous limit. For every $2 you earn above this limit, your Social Security benefits are reduced by $1. But that higher threshold means more people can work and earn additional income without seeing their benefits cut. In the year you reach full retirement age, the limit increases even more dramatically to $62,160, and the reduction rate becomes more favorable. Once you reach full retirement age, there is no earnings limit at all, meaning you can earn as much as you want without any reduction to your Social Security benefits. The Social Security Administration has also adjusted the maximum taxable earnings cap, affecting how much you pay into Social Security if you are still working. While this might not seem directly relevant to current retirees, it has implications for benefit calculations that many people do not understand. The maximum amount of earnings subject to Social Security tax is increasing to $176,100. This means if you are still working and earning below this amount, your continued contributions to Social Security could increase your future benefit amount if your current earnings are higher than in previous years. Social Security benefits are calculated based on your highest 35 years of earnings. So, if you are replacing lower earning years with higher earning years, you could see your benefit recalculated upward. The decisions you make in the coming months could have enormous implications for your lifetime benefit amount. With the cost of living adjustment applied, the amount you will receive if you file for benefits in the upcoming year will be higher than if you had filed earlier this year. However, and this is crucial, the decision about when to file for Social Security remains one of the most important financial decisions you will make. Filing at age 62 gives you access to benefits earlier, but those benefits will be permanently reduced compared to what you would receive if you waited until full retirement age or even until age 70. The cost of living adjustments apply regardless of when you file, but your base benefit amount is locked in based on the age at which you first claim benefits. With people living longer than ever before, the decision to delay benefits can result in tens of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income for those who can afford to wait. What about people currently receiving Supplemental Security Income, commonly known as SSI? This program serves some of the most financially vulnerable Americans, individuals with limited income and resources who are elderly, blind, or disabled. The good news is that SSI recipients are also receiving a cost of living adjustment. For many of these individuals, every single dollar matters in ways that people with more financial security might not fully appreciate. The maximum federal SSI payment for an individual is increasing to $967 per month, up from the previous amount of $943. For couples, the maximum benefit is increasing to $1,450 per month. These increases apply automatically. Recipients do not need to file any paperwork or make any applications. The Social Security Administration handles everything, and the increased amounts simply appear in the next payment. But there is a catch, and this is something that trips up many SSI recipients and causes confusion and stress. SSI has strict income and resource limits, and these limits are also adjusted periodically. For an individual to qualify for SSI, countable resources cannot exceed $2,000. For a couple, the limit is $3,000. These resource limits have not been increased despite inflation affecting the value of money, meaning people are essentially penalized for having saved small amounts of emergency funds. However, certain assets do not count toward these limits, including your primary residence, one vehicle, household goods, and personal effects. Understanding these rules is critical, because if your resources exceed the limits even by a small amount, you could lose your SSI eligibility entirely. The Social Security Administration has urged people near these resource limits to understand what counts and what does not, and to seek assistance if unsure about their eligibility status. There is yet another development flying under the radar. This affects people who receive both Social Security and SSI, a situation known as concurrent benefits. When someone qualifies for both programs, the Social Security benefit is paid first, and then SSI makes up the difference to bring the total payment up to the SSI maximum, assuming the person meets all SSI eligibility requirements. With cost of living adjustments happening to both programs, the calculation becomes a bit more complex, but the bottom line is that people receiving concurrent benefits will see their total monthly income increase. The Social Security Administration's computers handle these calculations automatically, but it is worth understanding how it works so you can verify you are receiving the correct amount. If you notice any discrepancies, or if your expected increase does not appear, it is essential to contact the Social Security Administration immediately because payment errors do occasionally occur, and the sooner they are caught, the sooner they can be corrected. Let us address something that creates enormous anxiety for millions of Americans every year: the fear that Social Security is going broke, that the money will not be there when needed, that benefits will be cut or eliminated. You have heard frightening predictions and seen news stories about Social Security trust funds being depleted. It is natural to worry about whether your benefits are secure. Here is the truth often lost in sensational headlines. Social Security is not going bankrupt in the sense that it will suddenly have $0 and stop sending checks. Projections show that if Congress makes no changes to the current system, the trust funds that Social Security uses to pay full benefits will be depleted sometime in the next decade. If that happens, Social Security would still be able to pay approximately 79% of scheduled benefits using payroll taxes from current workers. That is not ideal and would represent a significant cut, but it is very different from Social Security disappearing entirely. Moreover, every time Social Security has faced financial challenges in the past, Congress has made adjustments to shore up the system because cutting benefits to millions of voters is political suicide. The current situation requires action, and lawmakers are aware of it, even if they are not acting as quickly as many people would like. What can you do right now to make sure you are getting everything you are entitled to? First, if you have not already, create a My Social Security account on the Social Security Administration's website. This online portal gives you access to your benefit information, payment history, and important documents like your Social Security statement and tax forms. You can check to make sure your increased benefit amount is correct once the cost of living adjustment takes effect. You can also see your earnings history, which is crucial because errors in your earnings record can result in lower benefits. If you spot any years where your earnings were incorrectly recorded or missing entirely, you can work with the Social Security Administration to correct those errors. Second, make sure your direct deposit information is current and correct. The vast majority of Social Security recipients receive benefits through direct deposit, which is safer and more reliable than paper checks. If you have changed banks or account numbers, update that information immediately to avoid delays or misdirected payments. Third, understand your Medicare options during open enrollment. Medicare open enrollment runs from October 15th through December 7th each year, and this is your opportunity to review your coverage and make changes if needed. With prescription drug costs and medical expenses being major budget items for most seniors, making sure you have the right Medicare coverage can save you thousands of dollars. There is one more critical update affecting a smaller but extremely important group of people: those who are widows or widowers receiving survivor benefits. The rules around survivor benefits are complex, but understanding them can mean the difference between financial stability and financial hardship. If your spouse worked and paid into Social Security, you may be entitled to survivor benefits based on their earnings record. The amount you receive depends on several factors, including your age when you claim benefits and what your deceased spouse's benefit amount was. Here is what many people do not realize. If your own retirement benefit based on your work history is lower than the survivor benefit you are entitled to, you can claim your own benefit first and then switch to the survivor benefit later when it would be more advantageous, or vice versa. This strategy, sometimes called a widow's or widower's advantage, can maximize your lifetime benefits. With cost of living adjustments applied, both your own retirement benefit and any survivor benefit you might be entitled to will increase. If you are a widow or widower who has not explored whether you might be eligible for higher benefits, now is the time to investigate. The emotional weight of financial stress cannot be overstated, especially for seniors who remember times when a dollar went further, when retirement savings seemed adequate, when the future looked more certain. Watching benefits erode due to inflation, seeing medical costs climb, worrying about outliving your money, these anxieties take a toll that goes beyond mere dollars and cents. This cost of living adjustment, while perhaps not as large as some hoped, represents recognition that living expenses have increased and that benefits needed to keep pace. It is a signal that you have not been forgotten, that the system is still working to protect your financial security, even as political debates rage about Social Security's future. For many people, knowing that an extra $40 or $50 or $100 is coming each month means the difference between choosing between medications and groceries, between heating the home adequately and keeping the lights on, between isolation and the ability to occasionally see family or participate in community activities. As we head into this holiday season and toward the new year, understanding these changes empowers you to plan better, budget more effectively, and feel more in control of your financial situation. The increased benefits will begin appearing in payments within weeks. Being prepared for that increase means you can make smart decisions about how to use those additional funds. Maybe it goes toward building a small emergency fund if you do not have one. Maybe it helps pay down a credit card balance that has been carrying interest charges. Maybe it simply provides a little breathing room in a monthly budget that has been uncomfortably tight. Whatever your situation, knowledge is power, and knowing exactly what is coming and when gives you the ability to make informed choices. These updates to Social Security and related programs represent the most significant changes affecting beneficiaries in the current year. But they are not the only financial issues that matter to seniors and people with disabilities. Tax laws change. Medicare rules evolve. State programs that supplement federal benefits vary widely. And private sector resources like prescription drug assistance programs and utility assistance funds can provide additional help to those who know how to access them. Staying informed about all these different areas requires ongoing attention. And that is exactly why accessing resources that focus on these issues is so important. You cannot act on information you do not have, and you cannot protect your financial interests if you do not understand what is available to you. The reality is that millions of Americans are facing financial challenges that previous generations did not encounter to the same degree. Healthcare costs have skyrocketed. Housing costs in many areas have become unaffordable for people on fixed incomes. Family structures have changed in ways that mean fewer adult children are able or willing to provide financial support to aging parents. At the same time, people are living longer, which means retirement savings need to stretch further than ever before. Social Security was never designed to be anyone's sole source of retirement income. But for millions of Americans, it has become exactly that. These modest increases in benefits matter tremendously because they represent real money that helps real people survive and maintain dignity in their later years.